All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. We are going to, let's see, 90%. Ooh, have I not done everything there, Sue? Um, you know what? We will. Actually, I'm going to start a new game. I'm going to start a new game, just run through it, breeze through it real quick, see how much I can get done in about an hour or so. Who knows? Maybe longer. We'll see how long I play this. This is Pac Man World 2. Specifically, I'm playing for the GameCube. Also is on the PS2, the original Xbox. There's an old PC Windows port you might be able to play if you. I mean, obviously they don't still sell it, so you'd have to just find it somewhere, or already have it on your computer. If your computer, I don't even know if you can do that on new ones because most of them don't even have the DVD little drive or the CD drives. But my name is Dallas, and from NoggTV, the channel you're watching now, and this is a rant about Pac Man World 2 because. I want to rant about Pac Man World 2 because I did a video on it not too long ago. Well, I say not too long ago. It's probably been 2 or 3 months ago. And I'll put it up on the screen. If you want to go check it out, that's more of like a short and sweet TLDR, I guess if that's how you say it, review of the game. I think it was about like 13, 14 minutes. But this is kind of more for just people that like want a little something longer and want to just listen to more of a conversation, sit down, talk, chat about Pac Man World 2. And, you know, I make my reviews, try to make them a little shorter and sweeter because I know that people on YouTube, a lot of the mass media these days, I feel like this generation, it's YouTube content is kind of trying to push towards more shorter content to keep people, you know, always moving on to the next video, something else and something else. But this is going to be something for people that just really enjoy the game and want to hear more about it and don't mind watching the longer gameplay of it. This isn't a full playthrough of it. I do have a full playthrough of it on the channel. Again, I can put that up right now, and you can watch it. It's like a year or two old, I think, so it's not by any means a new one. Don't expect it to be really updated. I'm not saying it's old, but like, you know, as with anyone, my quality is always improving with every video and style. I'm always working on things. So if it seems like this is a little dated, it's because it is. It's from like 2 years ago, I think, when I was I was living at my old apartment. But not important. I'm just playing Pac Man World 2 again, and I played it several times, but I've just really been. As a kid, it was one of those games for me. It was like not a lot of my friends knew about it because anytime anyone brings up Pac-Man, you think of the regular old arcade game, you know. That's about it. Maybe you think of Pac-Man and Smash Bros. It's generally when you say Pac-Man, people don't think of games that are actually being played today, like modern games. Nobody sits around and plays Pac-Man. Best case scenario is maybe like Pac-Man 256 or whatever it was. I know there's an app, or like there might be some kind of was it Pac-Man? No, Tetris 99. There was a Pac-Man that was on the Switch. It's kind of like in their new little wave of battle royale Pac-Man games, or like new wave of just battle royale games. You know, like they did the Mario 35 and Tetris 99, stuff like that. I think there's one over here. This one's always for me was like one of the hardest ones to get and one I'd always miss. I've gotten it before. I've never 100%ed the game, and I wish Oh, first try, baby. Let's go. Let's go. So much for a recording curse. Generally, when I play on a recording, I play worse. But I don't know what it is about my rant videos. I guess because it's not a playthrough. Anytime I play it for like a play game for like an actual series, my skills like just drastically go down. They drastic go down. But then when I play for a rant, it's like, I don't know, the game is like, well, you're not going to play the whole thing, so it doesn't matter. You know, oh, you're not taking it very serious. Little doesn't know I always take it seriously. But yeah, that might be a little quick run through of everything. I'm not going to be 100%ing, completing, and playing the whole game. This isn't like a long play, although that is something I've been looking at more because there's a long plays were like kind of popular back then, I feel like. And maybe some people still watch them. But I feel like you never, like, I don't see people do long plays these days, like modern long plays. If anything, they just, I don't know if older long plays did that where they'd sit down and one playthrough. But I feel like now it's like maybe people just play through the game and do their episodes. Like what I've done is with my, I got distracted there for a little bit. I think that's everything. If I didn't get everything, I'm sorry. Oh well. Like I said, not completing it all. Just kind of quickly blowing through. Really, it's kind of impressive. About 5 minutes did that. Again, it's not a long level though. It's literally just a little intro level. Yep, that was everything. That's kind of cool. That was Pack Village. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like what I did with Sonic, I did with a playthrough of Sonic Heroes, which by the way, video coming in like a week or two from about that. I struggled with that and didn't even finish it. But what I would do is just play through each, and do episodes on my channel, but then at the end I just clipped it all together and ended up making it one big video. So I guess it's kind of a long play, not really. Depends on, if it's in one sitting. Then no, not really. But in one video, sure. But dude, this is just such a good game. Like, I want to hear it. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, the usual. But more importantly, let me know in the comments if you are a Pac Man World 2 fan. If you like Pac Man World 2, Pac Man World, the first one. If you like Pac Man World 3, which I feel like is the least popular out of the three. For good reason. It's alright. I've played and actually, no, I haven't beat it. I've gotten to like the level before the last, I think. Pretty close. One of the little tank levels where you're like in the suit. But yeah, a lot of people like Pac Man World 2. I feel like it's got to be the most popular one in the series and was the most played just because of how charming and how well made it was. Like, obviously every game will have a bug or two, maybe a glitch, something that's, or a mechanic that wasn't remembered as fondly as it should. Enemies that are annoying, bosses that are too hard. But this game, it was simple, it was easy, but it just was awesome. Like, to me, this is Pac-Man. Like I said earlier, people will bring up and talk about and imagine in their head the arcade Pac-Man, and for a lot of people, the commoners, I'll say, the commoners. But for the real, the classy human beings, the exquisite ones, the dignified ones with knowledge and wisdom, will know of Pac Man World 2 and the Pac Man World series. And it's kind of a shame because it was, I feel like, done really well. It was just in an era where, and this is something that I, like I said, I've already done a video on Pac Man World 2. But I would love to do another one, go even deeper. I'll do as many as I want. I'll do a whole series on review, like a whole series of reviews, not even just one review or two. You've heard of a playthrough series, but have you ever heard of a review series where you review the same game every time but different parts of it? I'm sure there's people that do that, though. There are whole channels dedicated to certain games, so that's definitely been done before. Why can't I? Oh, I'm an idiot. I can just bounce on it. Dummy. Me bad dummy. But yeah, dude, this game is so good. It's just like the music, the charm. Yes, some of the songs are a little repetitive and they can kind of be the same track, in different, within the areas and the regions, some of the tracks kind of get reused or remixed. And some people I've heard complaints that they're kind of the same track, as in it takes some of the popular Pac-Man music and basically just kind of remixes it in different tunes or different instruments. Yeah, there we go. There's a token. To be fair, it is what it is. But still, I mean, when something's really good, can't blame them. And the levels aren't that long. Some of them are later on, especially if you're trying to get 100%. There's some levels, people don't like the rolling level in the end of I think it's Magma Opus, I think, or one of the volcano levels. Hey, look, more iron balls. Iron pack, metal pack. Oh, I always thought that was so cool. Anytime I got the metal power up, I was like, dude, this is so sick. He's impenetrable. Impenetrable. Did I get everything there? Oh, I missed a token. Which token did I miss? That's kind of wild. I got the one in the water. I must have missed, I don't know. I bet it doesn't matter. I was just probably going fast and talking. But, yeah. I recommend, the thing is that, like I said, it's on multiple consoles. So definitely, if you get a chance, play it. If you have a GameCube, if you have a PS2, if you have the OG Xbox, if you have a PC where you can, you know, you have an emulator, acquire it legally, as always. You know, I'm not going to say anything else on the matter. But, you know, get however you need to do so. Whether it's your copies, if you have an older brother, siblings, a friend, someone, distant relative, some aunt and grandma have Pac Man World 2 on the PS2 buried out in, you know, somewhere random in the yard or in an attic or the closet, then go get it, man. Go get it and go play Pac Man World 2. Also, I love how I hit that and it didn't hurt me. And you know what I love even more than that is when work calls me in the middle of me being off. It's like, ugh, dude, Pac Man World 2 is calling me. Sorry, more important. I'm going to answer the Pac Man World 2 call. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to try not to let work get too on me, bro. That's, the Pac Man World 2 is one of those games that just, like, you just forget about everything else going on. You just take a breath in and just play Pac Man World 2. Oh, gosh. I almost didn't make that. There's a token over here. We need to beat this guy because I was trying to show a big part of what... Well, I guess I was going to say what makes this game interesting. The first game did it. Third game kind of does it. So I guess it's not that unique. But I feel like it's the... Oh, took a while. The Galaxian. Yes, the Galaxian is... there's one in every level. I don't think there was one in the last level. This is the first one with one. So, yeah, the first level, Bare Basics, is not going to have one. But starting with... Canyon Chaos, there will be a Galaxian in every level, and usually it's like if you kill a certain, sometimes it's killing big or certain special enemies, it's going to a certain spot, you know, going out of the way off the beaten path, something like that is where you will find... Oh, will I get him in time? Nope. Turn around. Yeah, did not get him in time. So, and the other important thing is too is I didn't realize this when I was younger and I played through it, is occasionally I would not clear the level. Also, you're not, unlike normal Pac-Man, if you're trying to get through the level, you know, to get like extra lives or something, the score really doesn't do... Oh my gosh, how have I died to freaking Clyde, Blinky, whatever you want to call him, because the names of the ghosts in this game are wrong. That's a whole story for another day. Ooh, yeah. So like I was saying, the scores don't matter. So unless it's on accident, I would not go out of your way to try to chase any of the ghosts, because it's just quicker that they come back to being able to hurt you. And I'm on the last life, so I'd really like to not die. Perfect. Yeah, what I didn't realize as a kid is that if you do not complete the level, like you die, if you run out of your lives, it doesn't, like, you're fine in the actual level, but it just kicks you back out to the level. But you don't get to keep the maze, because I didn't show it off in Pac Village, in one of the buildings, the one with the big sign on there that we like kind of shot off of right around when I was saying, oh, so much for the recording curse. There are certain why did I add a T in the end of certain mate, like there's I'm getting distracted. And let me start over that sentence. There are certain games in there, is what I was trying to say. I was going to say there are certain tracks or certain mazes, but in honesty, every maze is going to be in the arcade, and every soundtrack, like song from the soundtrack, is going to be in the maze. You know, you're going to have basically, whenever you play a level, I think you just, from playing and beating the level, you can unlock it in the jukebox. And if you beat the maze, you get the Galaxian and you beat the maze, then you can unlock that to replay later on. So, you know, a little bit of, you know, replayability, I guess, there if you want to replay the missions or the mazes. Whichever one you can replay. There's also, you know, the tokens that we're collecting. You get a certain amount. There's Ms. Pac-Man, sorry. Ms. Pac-Man. There are also, I think there's a, yeah, that's what I thought. I can get up here. Ms. Pac-Man, there's Pac-Mania. I think Pac-Attack is one of them. What am I missing? Pac-Mania. Pac-Mania is the one I really like. That one's a lot of fun. I like being able to jump over enemies and the music there, and it's kind of got that 3D feel. I don't know, it's just kind of unique. Pac-Mania is fun. Pac-Attack is the one, it kind of felt like Tetris almost. Also, if you get down here to the end and you're like, what the crap, I cannot get back in here. Do not worry, friend. Do not worry, because the answer lies here with this thing. Yes, this button. And then boom. Also, as you can tell, sometimes one of the main gripes that I do have with the game, if any, is that the camera can sometimes fluctuate and get in your way. Nothing to be taken too personal. Don't let the camera like ruin the gameplay for you. Sometimes it can be frustrating, but it doesn't mean to. It's completely on accident. But anyways, we got 100% there. You might notice too that says, oh, you got all the bonus, or you got all the tokens. You got completed 100%. Like this one, we missed a token, but we still got 100% because there is a bonus token. And I now realize that that's the one that I actually missed. No? Okay. Tokens apparently do not count for 100%. The fruit and the pack dots do. You have to get them all on one run. It doesn't sound too bad until you get to later in the game, and there are some levels that is a straight up nightmare to collect them all in one go. In one life, because if you die, or if you finish the mission, you don't have them all, you got to recollect them all in the same run. If you die, you start from the checkpoint. You got to re-get any that you've got since dying. Here the difference is we got all the tokens. Like I said, don't count towards the real 100%. But then we have a missing bonus token. You get one bonus token for collecting every item all in one go. And then you get another bonus token for doing a time trial. I will quickly showcase what the time trial looks like. It is literally just running through the game as fast as you can. So you can also get time stoppers. Usually they're no more from, I think most of them are 2 seconds. I want to say sometimes there's one for 3 maybe. But yeah, I would just don't. Oh yeah, there's 4. And I think they stack up. I wouldn't go too out of your way for a lot of them, because sometimes going out of your way will just end up costing you that 1 or 2 seconds. So you kind of have to figure out what's on the way. You know, you don't want to go too out of your way to get anything that's not worth it. If it's on the way, like if I can build up one there, get that one, get that one. Okay, we built up a couple extra seconds. Boom, that helps. You know. And I believe, I don't remember if the time was 30 seconds or 40 seconds. But if it's 30 seconds, we're screwed. If it's 40 seconds, we got this. Because now we can just, boo. New record. I'm pretty sure it was 40 seconds. But yeah, we literally, like, when I say these levels are short, I mean they are literally meant to rush through to be able to beat in that amount of time. Okay, yeah, so we got it. Look at that. Easy. Boom. Now we just, if you want the real 100%, you just got to go through and get that token that I missed. So don't let the complete percentage fool you and be like, okay, cool, 100%, go through. So like this one is a real 100% because you got all tokens and bonus. And they don't overlap. So if you're like this one, how it confused me earlier, if you say, oh, I have 7 out of 8, but I'm missing a bonus token. Well, that's what it's talking about. I need to do the time trial because you can have both the bonus tokens and not have the tokens. So, you know, I know that's confusing. A lot of talk of tokens and bonus tokens and stuff like that. Apologies for that. Just trying to make sure that is addressed so you understand. It can get a little confusing. But But yeah, I guess now that I'm 20 minutes in, which seems to be a reoccurring thing. I know I did that with Wario World last week. Is that I kind of get in, explain the game, talk about why I like it, you know, and I kind of briefly almost go to start my rant, and then I'm like, hey, but by the way, oh gosh, I thought there was going to be a platform there. I would have died if that one would not have came over to save me. I need to get on this box, get that, and I need to get that token over there. Can I? Oh. Okay, come on. Come on, give me the token. Okay, we'll just, yeah, we can go up here, like that. There we go. Sorry, I make weird sounds when I play it, just because I enjoy the game. If I'm not making weird sounds during a game, I'm probably not enjoying it. Because I'm probably not relaxed, and I'm probably not having fun. Unless it's Dark Souls. Sometimes I play hard games, and I don't make sounds because I'm concentrating. But yeah, man, this is one of those games that's got me into gaming. I don't actually know. I can't honestly tell you what my first ever video game was. My memory is terrible, and I know that's kind of a sad thing. I'd love to know the first video game I ever picked up and played, but like my dad played some sports games back in the day, and you know, he played a couple others. My mom would kind of goof off here and there. You know, they had the old NES. They had an N64 when I was growing up. When I was younger, until, you know, they got me my GameCube. That was my first ever console. So I can't really pinpoint my first game ever, sadly, because there's just, I mean, do you count the first thing I remember playing? You know, the first game I beat? Like, I don't know. And you know, when you're younger like me, I have this issue where when I'm young, like, I have a hard time remembering, like, specific, like, pinpointing dates. Like, I remember playing Pac Man World 2 when I was a kid. I remember spending a ton of time in Mario Sunshine, Ocarina of Time. Those were kind of some of the earliest games that I remember, like my kind of big three. Or really, I guess, I don't know. I would also throw in Battle for Bikini Bottom. Those are like top 4. You know, I know top 4 sounds weird. It should be like, dude, just make a top 5 or a top 3. But those are some of the games that I remember playing earliest on when I was a kid. Like, for a while, I thought it was Ocarina of Time. I don't really know. I do know, though, that we have old home video, which, you know, kids these days are going to be like, what the heck is that? Home video. It's where you used to get on a camcorder and record, and it was like like, you know, we'd have to get out the old VHS player and put it on and watch it. I need to talk to my mom. I'd love to get some of that back, because there was a lot of old recordings of me playing like old games on my GameCube or the PS2 or whatever we had. Like, I'd love to just be able to look through and find anywhere I was playing games, just because, for one, for memories, like, that'd be something personal I'd love to have. But for two, like, you know, I'd love to be able to incorporate in a video somehow, or have some sort of like, you know, because I want to do some retrospectives later on. That's no secret. I've already kind of spoiled that by now. Cat's out of the bag. I'm working on one, you know, at some point. But when it's ready, it's ready. Gotta let it cook, man. You know, don't take it out the stove until it's ready, or don't take it out the oven. Stove is the, never mind. You know what I'm talking about. You can tell I'm not that great at cooking. But even though I did make spaghetti last night. Anyways, but I'd love to have that. I bring that up because from what home video says is that the earliest one we have on video, of course, that doesn't mean it was the first one I played. It just means that is, you know, the first one we have footage of. But that seemed to be that the earliest one was Pac Man. That's what it was Pac Man World 2. Because I have one in my parent, you know, where we used to live, back in my parents' room. That's where they kept the gaming system, and I would go in there and play Pac-Man, just sit on the bed. I remember because my dad had, this is completely random, has nothing to do with Pac Man World 2. My dad had these old it was an NBA team, Phoenix Suns. He's not a Phoenix Suns fan, never cared for the Phoenix Suns, doesn't even really watch basketball, but he always told me, he's like, it was just a comfy blanket. Like, it was like a big bright purple comforter with a very faded Phoenix Suns logo on it. And I thought, as a kid, I thought it was like the comfiest thing ever. And yeah, I don't know, it was just nice. Like, that's what I like. One of my core childhood memories was, like, as a kid, you know, just remembering that my dad didn't even like basketball. He's a hardcore football guy. Didn't like basketball, but still had that. And you know, cuddle up with my my controller on a. Especially that was before I had to go to school and I could just sit at home. Those are the days, man. Those are the days playing Pac Man World 2. But that was always a blast for me. I freaking enjoyed the crap out of that. So lots of memories there. Very fond, all of them too. None bad. And it was weird too because he didn't even play a lot of like Pac-Man or like old school. Like he played sports games and that was about it. But he was always the one. Anytime I was like, I couldn't beat something, I was like, Dad, beat this. And he's like, I don't know. I don't play these games, but I will see what I can do. And I remember that when I was a kid, I would struggle on the last regular Ghost fight where you fight. Well, I guess I should get into that. That would bring me into see how this is Blinky. Well, if you're a Pac-Man fan, you know that this is technically supposed to be Clyde. Clyde is the orange one. Yeah. And so guess what? The red ghost that's normally supposed to be Blinky is in fact Clyde. How they got it wrong in the game, I don't know, because I don't even know if they fixed it in the third one. It's interesting. But for whatever reason, they left it. So that's interesting. But yeah, he was. Oh, also, I love how we're still in the air, just floating. But anyways, his go-to, he'd be like, I don't know what we're doing, but all right. And oh gosh, I missed it. Dang it. Dang, bruh. But the one I could never beat was Clyde in the Caldera. And can you, Clyde in the Caldera? I could not beat that for whatever reason. And he beat that for me one time, and I thought he was so cool. I was like, yeah, I want to be like my dad, man. I want to beat video games for people. And I thought I was going to be, that's like one of my early core memories when I was like, oh, I'm going to be a competitive gamer. And I'm not. I'm not very good at games. There's some I'm good at. I'm good for a casual gamer, but by no means am I good enough to, like, you know, do competitive stuff on esports or make, like, competitive videos of, like, speed runs or anything. In fact, a lot of my videos you'll see I'm pretty trash at, but I have fun. I err on the side of entertainment, not so much competition or skill. But nonetheless, that's what gaming's about, man. It's about just having fun. And Pac Man World 2 makes it easy to have fun. Forget, you know, who cares if they name their ghosts and their characters the wrong thing. The game is fun, man. It's crazy to think the things that if your game is really good and it's that easy to get lost in, you know, the things you could forget or overlook. Because if I was an adult and this game came out and like we'd never played it, I would think I'd still play it and have fun with it, but I'd be like, bro, like, oh my gosh, like I'd be way more critical of the fact that they just totally messed that up. And I'd be like, man, come on now, like we finally get one Pac-Man game in who knows how long, like a Pac Man World game. I'm trying to get this extra life. There we go. And then they mess up the ghost names. But as a kid, I was just like, oh, that's weird. It's kind of confusing, but whatever. Like, I just didn't care. Like, it wasn't important to me. It didn't really confuse me that much. When I obviously first playing it, it did. But once I got a little bit older and was able to figure out, like, oh, it was an accident. And it's weird to me to think that, like, the things that we as adults, you know, get so nitpicky about. And I know I kind of am going off in a different direction. But it's weird the things that we get nitpicky with as adults that like bother us. Like we have these really high expectations that everyone's supposed to be perfect. Game developers and game designers are supposed to be perfect, and you know they're supposed to care about this, and that. But it's like we kind of lose that childlike element, like that got us into gaming. Like you can tell people that have been into gaming for so long that are hardcore about it, they almost just lose that childlike aspect of. Like, you can tell who's a true, like, gamer at their core and, like, is really passionate about it. Also, I just realized I forgot to, I forgot to go back and hit that button down there, so I need to go do that. Oh, I made it. I lost some life, but I made it. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. But, yeah, I know. Don't scream at me in the comments saying I missed it. I get it. But, like, just the things of... Like, when you're a kid, you don't care how technically sound a game is. You don't care, you know, obviously you don't want it to be buggy, I get it. But it's like, you're not really paying attention to all that. you don't care what kind of side features a game has. Like, if the main game is fun, who cares? Or sometimes there's been lots of games where the main game might be complete doo-doo, but the side game is fun. You know, not that it's doo-doo. Like, my favorite Mario Party is Mario Party 5 on the GameCube. And I have lots of memories of it. I think it's fun. But there's no denying that a lot of the minigames were luck-based. And it's not the greatest Mario Party game. But one of the things I love was the fact that they had the Super Duel mode with the little, like, how you can, like, build your own carts almost like in a Demolition Derby. Had nothing to do with regular Mario Party. Majority of people probably wouldn't play it because that's not why you play Mario Party. But I loved it. I thought it was incredible. You know, I was like, my goodness, like, this is why I need Mario Party 5. Like, that alone, you know, was why I wanted to keep the game. And it was just so much fun. Like, all the memories I had with it, and, you know, similar to Pac Man World 2. It's like, this game is by no means a technical sound masterpiece with, you know, raving reviews from critics and, you know, just high scores on every review platform and channel. But it was just fun. Like, it meant, oh, that scared me. It didn't even end up getting me. But, yeah, it meant something to people that were Pac-Man fans. It meant something to gamers. And it was relaxing as a kid. Like, you know, I think these days there's also another reason why I feel like the game is pretty easy. Well, one death isn't too bad. But I feel like, and maybe this is something that you guys would be able to understand and, like, see, is that I feel like there's this kind of growing culture, and a lot of it's with, like, online social media and, you know, people trying to showcase their best efforts on YouTube or Twitter, you know, X, sorry now. You know, fill in the blank, whatever. There's this growing problem where, I don't know how to put it, people just kind of gatekeeping like the gaming culture and the gaming passion and the gaming hobby. Specifically, I'm meaning centered around difficulty, and you'll probably know where I'm going as soon as I say that. You'll be like, oh yeah, I get it. How many times have you ever been around someone or heard someone or seen someone, or maybe just you're familiar with the stereotype of people that are like, oh, this game isn't good because it's too easy. I'm like, okay, so you want to not be able to beat the game? It's like, I get that you want a challenge, but it's like, this game's not good because it's too easy. Or another common one is, man, you're not really playing the game. You're not really playing it if you're playing on an easy difficulty. It's why a lot of people don't like, Dark Souls and the Souls games, because it's so hard. Like, okay, that cultivates a certain fan base and community that, you know, really like it. And I like a lot of the Souls games. I wouldn't say I'm great at them. For a long time, I hated the games because they were so difficult. But once I played Dark Souls 3 and beat it, and, you know, to be fair, all of the community I've met for such a, like, hard get good, like, there is a few, like, the minority of Dark Souls and Souls game fans can be a little toxic, but then again, really any fan base can be a little bit toxic, and every fan base will have its couple, you know, toxic members. But no, for the most part, they've always been nice anytime I've interacted with them, and been really, you know, helpful and understanding. And most of them are very, like, excited when you get into their games. It's like, oh wow, like, they're really excited they can share that with you. Also, I love that killed me. Like, what was I supposed to do, man? That means I'm going to have to restart from the checkpoint. Oh, my gosh. Oh, right into his pinchers. Well, I guess I'm going to be doing all that bouncing again. Do you want me to re-say all that I said again? Just kidding. But no. Oh, I have to get up here again. Dang it. That wasn't too hard. But, yeah, that's another thing, is I hate when people do that and gatekeep. Mainly it's games where it's like, anytime you get a bunch of difficulty options and people are like, oh, well, if you're not playing it on this difficulty, you're not getting the real experience. Like, I've seen people do it with God of War, you know, I've seen people do it with the Spider-Man games, Star Wars, you know, Jedi Fallen Order, and the Jedi Survival. You know, games like that where it's like, you know, you can make it really hard on yourself if you really want to. You don't have to, but you can. And then there are a group of people out there that seem to think that if you can make it that hard, you should make it hard. And people that want to get in your face about, well, I beat this game on the hardest difficulty, so I'm better than you at this game. And that means I'm more of a gamer. It's like, cool beans, man. Who the heck cares? It's like, I don't care whether you beat the game on freaking easy with no enemies and you just got, all you did was just get through the platinum or the platforming. But I also don't care if you, you know, beat it on the hardest difficulty with both your eyes closed, you know, and one hand tied your back, behind your back, playing with a foot. You know, I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't see it that way. And it's kind of like I saw this girl playing Elden Ring, and it's one of those streamers that I see pop up on my Twitch feed or like on Instagram. It'll be like highlights of like, oh, I forgot her name, but so and so just beat Elden Ring, playing two Elden Ring playthroughs at once with the controller and the others with a Dance Dance Revolution dance pad, and people are talking about like, yeah, like this is a real experience for me. But then it's sad because there's actually a real amount of people on there that are like, see that and they're like, oh, like I could never do this. Like, I guess I'm just not a gamer. Like that discourages people. And on one hand, I think that, okay, you don't be a baby about it. Like, them posting about it and getting recognition isn't them saying that they're better than you. They're not saying that. They're just trying to show off their celebrate. Like, I think things like that are really awesome. I think that's cool. Like, if you can do that, that's wild. But, you know, at the same time, I can see how it's like there's this culture of beating the game is not just enough anymore. The fact that people are playing games is not just enough anymore. Now it's like you have to play the game and you have to be the best at it and be able to do it at the highest difficulty. And when the highest difficulty is too easy, then you have to like give yourself a bunch of handicaps and challenges. And when that's too easy, well then you can talk. And you just got to keep making it harder on yourself. And it's like, man, I don't know about that. So again, I know I got away from Pac Man World 2. I do apologize if you came here for that. Which I would assume is most people, since I said that at the beginning. Oh, you're coming here for Pac Man World 2. I'm just being real. That was part of the rant. You know, I guess that is what a rant is at the end of the day. And a rant, or a tangent, whatever you want to call it. It's just how I feel, man. And I think it's a real problem, the real shame that going back to all of this. What started it was when I was talking about how when you go from a kid to an adult, as a kid, you just play the game, and if it's fun, it's like think about this. How many games as a kid, or how many times in a game, did you play a game, start it, beat it? You couldn't tell me the name of the game. Maybe you couldn't tell me you didn't play more than 5 minutes into it, but you spent so many hours in that game. Like for me, I'll tell you the reason why I loved Ocarina of Time so much, and why it's my favorite game, is because as a kid, I cannot tell you the countless hours I spent just in Kokiri Forest at the very beginning of the freaking game. Like, I'm not talking about, oh, I was playing really far into this game so many times as a kid. No, I could beat the Great Deku Tree, but I didn't know how to get to the. It's like I couldn't tell you how to get to the how to get out of the Lost Woods. I couldn't tell you how to get to Zelda, It's like I wasn't by no means a know-it-all when it came to the game. But like I just had fun playing the game. Like I would run around, I would listen to the music, I would just literally cut grass with Link's sword. I would roll around, collect as many rupees as I could, which was 99 because you could never get a bigger wallet if you didn't leave. I would talk to the NPCs and just be like, hey, I wanted to learn about them and like see what they were doing and like what their lives were like. And I think there's this like weird childhood, not weird, but you know what I mean, like a childhood innocence. It's weird because it's hard to explain as an adult. And I think because as you're a kid, like you have nothing better to do. Like you just want to be entertained. Like you're learning about life, you're learning about the world. Like you want to soak up all of this knowledge and this experience. Like you want to know, like, it's just a video game, but to you it doesn't matter. And I think as adults, we get this feeling where we feel rushed. We feel like we have to be productive. We have a certain amount of things to do in a certain amount of time in every day. You know, we're very point A to point B, no excuses, no distractions, nothing getting us off track. You know, that's how it is. But as a kid, it's not that way. Like you just spend time doing whatever it is you want to do. I can't tell you how many times, and this is one thing I've talked to some of my gamer friends about, and it bothers me because I wish I wasn't like this. I would love to get back to this childhood innocence, and I'm jealous. I envy anyone that is able to do that so easily, or has been able to make that transition. This is this is a little side area, so don't worry about this. I think this is just for the Galaxian, I'm pretty sure. But I envy people like that, because how many times, like especially when I play, like I said, when I play hard games or serious games, or I just bought a game, like I feel the need to like be good at the game, and I feel like immediately, and I feel like I have to, and especially with like work and with relationships and family and friends, it's like you only have a certain amount of time. Like you might, some days you might get to game for several hours a day. If you have the day off, you maybe can game all day and you're really lucky. And sometimes you might not get to game for a week or 2 weeks, and then you might get an hour to sit down and play, maybe 30 minutes. And you feel like you can't waste your time. Like, I'm like, oh, I need to sit down and I need to get to a certain point in the game. I need to beat these many missions or these many races. I need to get to this level in the game. I need to get this % done. I need to get these many trophies in the day. I need to do, it's like you come at a hobby, at a video game, with the same mindset you have at work. Like, that's not how gaming is. You're not sitting down to do an objective amount of things. And I think if you're playing like that, if that's how you truly get happiness, and that's how you have fun and enjoy, then don't let me stop you. That's awesome. But I'm saying that for most people, that's not how that works. You just truly sit down, and you sit down to enjoy the game, and you sit down to enjoy not having to be at work or not having to do work. Like, you're just kind of putting your mind on autopilot. And that's why I like older games. That's why I like the whole nostalgia thing, is because new games, I feel like, don't do that for me all the time. New games can be fun, and that's why it's so charming when you do find a new game that does that for you. It means a lot. I think that's why nostalgia in gaming exists, because I assume that other people are like me, in the sense that when you're a kid, that's how you played games. You just played it just to play it, just because it was like, oh, I didn't have to clean my room, or I didn't have to do dishes or chores or whatever. You just got to play video games. But now as an adult, you feel like it's like you treat a hobby like it's work, and it doesn't really make any sense. And I don't know why people come at it like that. I assume just because it's what they're used to. It's just easy when all you're doing is work and you're busy. It's like you don't want to waste your time. And like I said, I'm guilty of that. There's times where I sit down, especially if I make the mistake of playing a game like, Dark Souls, or I know I'm using that and kind of dogging on it. I don't get me wrong, I love Dark Souls. I love the games. I'm just using it because it's kind of much more of it's not as much of a relaxing game. It's a game that I play because I want to feel like I've achieved something, like I have done hard work. So, you play different games for different reasons. But if I can't play a game like that if I only have 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. If I play it on my lunch at work. I don't play games like that during those situations, because what happens is I die a bunch. Maybe I don't get any progress made. Maybe I struggle. Then next thing you know, it's, an hour later, and I haven't gotten maybe nowhere in the game. I have done next to nothing in the game. And then, then I start feeling like I've wasted my time. I'm angrier than when I'm less relaxed and less at peace than when I started playing the game. And next thing you know, it's way worse. And I'm just ticked off at myself. And I'm like, why? I got to play video games. Why am I ticked off? So, I don't know if anyone else is like that. Maybe I'm just talking out my butt. But that's just one thing I struggle with. And I don't know. I don't get why people are like that. But they are. And I don't, like I said, I don't get why I'm like that. it's one of those things that I feel like one of the negative parts of maturing and getting older kind of does to you. You just see the world in a different light, so therefore you see gaming in a different light. That's why I always disagree when people think that gaming is a very like shallow, surface level hobby. I always disagree. It is deep. It's emotional. It's very mental. Even if you don't see it that way, you don't think about it like that. It is. It might just be happening subconsciously where you don't know why you're playing those type of games. You don't know why you enjoy the type of, it's like you don't spend the time and think about it. But when you do, it just kind of blows your mind. So, I don't know. That's just what I've been thinking about lately. And I think that playing Pac Man World 2, sorry, that brought it out of me. And I think that's what good games do. Good games make you think. I'm not thinking about work. I was earlier briefly, and I quickly left that train of thought. When you play good games, you free your mind to just think about deeper other things that really matter and that are really important. And I've always said, life's too short to play bad games. Life's too short to play games you don't like. Life's too short to spend time doing things you don't like, I'm not saying that you can get out doing everything you don't like. That's also part of life, is just sometimes doing things you don't want to. But, I mean, at the end of the day, don't play the games that other people want you to play. Don't play the games that are popular. Don't play the games that, people around you are playing, or, maybe you've traditionally played a certain type of game, but you want to break into a different type of game, different genre. Maybe you're used to playing sports games. Like me growing up, don't get me wrong, I still love sports games. But that's like a good chunk of what I played as a kid, because I was like, that's what my dad played. I had lots of sport friends, and when I got into middle school, junior high, it was like I was told, kind of like, oh, nobody plays Pac Man or Mario or Zelda. Like, those are kid games, man. Like, those are, why would you want a GameCube or a Wii or a DS when you can have an Xbox or a PlayStation? And also, oh my gosh, is this camera never going to change? What the heck? I've never had that happen before. Okay, I've got to come back up here, else I'm gonna die. Okay, can I? There's no way that's. Okay, no, there's no way. I've never had that happen before. There we go. I don't know why. I've never had it get. I've had it get stuck for like a second or two, but I've never had it just completely froze out of place like that. Ooh, okay. But yeah, sorry I lost my whole train of thought because the camera had a strangely abnormal issue. There's a lot of goodies that you can get right just early on if you kind of jump off the edges of these platforms. Safely though, jump off, and of course, make sure you grab the iron ball because you can get burnt here. You don't want to die. That would be bad, especially since you're on, you can't really do anything about it. You're just going in a path. But yeah, that's just, I don't know, that's just something I'm passionate about. Like, I love, talking to people about why they play certain games, or, why they feel a certain way about certain games, etc., etc. And I feel like nostalgia and emotions are like they're a big part of why people play games. Oops. I slid off. Did I miss an apple somewhere? I must have missed an apple. That, or I gotta come back. I think I gotta come back. Maybe. Oh, there's an apple down here. I bet there is. There's the apple. You gotta get it. Ooh. Come on, Mr. Apple. Because I believe that's the Galaxian over there we're gonna get, so gotta make sure we always get to grab the Galaxian. So, I owe a lot to Pac Man World too, for just kind of, my childhood and doing things the way that they did. Oh, no. Good thing I got a checkpoint at some point, whenever that was. Okay, I guess when I got up here. Yeah, so I'll just have to do that last part over again. Wow. Just straight up missed. Ooh, that's no good. That's no bueno. Oh, brother. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. That's probably what you're thinking of me. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. I guess you don't really need the, you know, if we're being honest, can I be a little daredevil and just kind of... Okay, so note to self, if you walk off a platform, you cannot butt bounce to... That was weird. I don't know if... I don't remember that doing that before. Oh, I'm surprised that didn't hurt me. Okay, sorry, I was freaked out because the saw blade was like making this really loud, annoying screeching sound, and I'm sure you probably heard it on there. And I was like, what the heck? Are they drilling or doing something outside my house? I was about to get ticked off. I was like, I'm literally at the end of the level. That's so obnoxious. But no, it was just the saw blades acting funky. But man, yeah, I can't stress enough how good this game is. Just the levels, the characters, the charm. Which I guess there's not a lot of characters. But you know, like just the enemies, like kind of, they're all like Pac Man related. The boss fights are, you know, there are some gripes about it. And you know, if you want a more detailed analysis, like I said, you know, you can always check out that review video I did. You know, there are gripes about it, like the bosses are repetitive. You know, they got the character names wrong for Blinky and Clyde. Some levels are a little glitchy and buggy. Nothing game breaking. Like I said, the camera is the main thing that can distract you from being able to actually do certain parts. And most of the time it can be fixed, but you know, occasionally it can't, and you have to just kind of die to get rid of it. Or you have to backtrack safely to get rid of it. You know, and the game could be a little bit longer. Some of the tokens are hard to get. Getting 100% is pretty freaking difficult. But at the end of the day, it's still a fun game. Like, yeah, there's parts that aren't perfect. But it's just like, I mean, it's the same way with people. You know, you've never met a perfect person, yet there are people that you love, admire, respect, adore. People that like you'd be willing to do anything for, like people you'd run through a brick wall for. Are they perfect? No, but they're perfect in your eyes. They're perfect in your mind. They're perfect enough. And I feel like that's how we need to look at gaming. Sometimes we get a little too much on our high horse, and we're like, well, this has this flaw. This would be perfect. But it's like we don't like the idea. We struggle to grasp the idea of a perfect game. You know, especially with like critics. Like that's why. Oh my gosh, that's not. Can I go over there? What happens if I go over there? Okay, that's not where I was supposed to go. It took me a long time to die, but I should just pop up right after I got the Galaxian. The Galaxian will act as a checkpoint, so, you know. There we go. There, that's how we do it. Then we can go back here, and then we can actually continue on with the level. I'll probably play this level, beat the boss, which I think is Blinky, and then we'll... Not Blinky, Inky. Inky is a blue one. Inky and Pinky are the ones that, you know, never have any of their names messed up. Also, I love how you can kind of see out in the distance. You can see a little dot out there. It's kind of cool. Which really, we need to get out there somehow. And I don't necessarily remember how you do such a thing. We want to get rid of... Not get rid of. We want to go down here, grab that. We're gonna get a little burnt, but there we go. So you know, there's let's see if we can get over. I don't necessarily remember how to get over there. Maybe we have to just rocket. Is it something? Is it really something we have to rocket off in that? I guess. I don't remember where it's at. Oh, I totally went the wrong way for the platform. I actually maybe could have made it. I think we were supposed to shoot off from rev roll from there. Well, good. Oh, okay. Great thing that there's a checkpoint right there. That's actually really handy. Like I said, if the camera would work a little bit better, maybe between these two. Oh! I barely missed. I know that we can make it, and I have lives to take the risk. So. I'm just gonna try. Oh, come on. You see, you're just barely hitting the edge. So it's not, maybe I need to not aim for between the two trees because I'm kind of having to curve my path a little bit. I want to get it. I'm desperate to get it. Maybe I'll aim more towards this way. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let's go. Can I? Oh, that was perfect, man. Look at that. This is one of those like secret areas where like as a kid I didn't know this was there. But I just knew I was always missing a token. See that right there, that pretty much pays us back for all of those lives that we wasted. That would be a really great way. Also, it kind of reminds us that we need to go back and get these things. Oh, I forgot that there's a... Because we need the iron power up. We don't want to get burnt. There we go. Let's go here. Ta-da! That'll save us a little bit of time and live health. There we go. Aren't you proud of me? I did it. Never get just like that. Never give up on your hopes and dreams, man. Whoa, that was fast, bro. If you revel right there, you really speed through it. Oh, I'd love to have the metal power up the entire level. Oh, not a spitball. Not a spitball. Guess what? I'm gonna give you that Hawk Tua. The amount of times I've unironically been able to fit Hawk Tua into several of my videos has kind of been disturbing. I don't know if that means that Hawk Tua is really marketable and it was like a marketing genius, or if a lot of my content is just really off the wall. That could also be it. There could be both of them. Oh, that was a close one. Thank goodness for ledge detection. Alright, and I think that all the dots? No, it's all the strawberries though. We're close though, close to the end. It'll probably be a little over an hour, but I appreciate everyone. I know I haven't said this, but I really do appreciate everyone watching this. Everyone taking time out of their day to listen to me rant for an hour. Hope your day is going well. If it's not, just remember it always gets better. Sometimes it gets worse before it gets better, but in the end, it always gets better. Maybe not the way you think, but you know, I don't know. Sometimes people will be like, "Oh, it's not you didn't tell me what I wanted to hear." I'm like, well, sometimes it's not about telling you what you want to hear. It's telling you what you need to hear. It'll get better. I promise it will. And things take time. In the meantime, if you need help, if you're going through something, play some video games. It's not a classic cure. You know, it's not going to get rid of the problem, but it can help you get through it. I made a video. I know I feel bad. I keep like shamelessly plugging my stuff, but it just kind of naturally led into a video I did about, you know, when I was going through a tough time a couple weeks ago with my, you know, my wife, her grandparents' health was really declining, and they had some health scares. And it got me talking about, that's actually when I started my rant series, so I guess that's why it's important. You know, I made a video like how video games can help you cope. I mean, I guess while I'm thinking about it, I was like, I made another video why people like old video games, or why people still play old video games. So there's that's kind of, if you haven't got it by now, that's kind of what I like to market my content as. Like, it's retro stuff. It's, you know, based around nostalgia. You know, stuff that people can it can make people happy and just kind of give them that sense of like that childhood nostalgia again. Because like, man, I'm only 23 now, about to be 24. I'm about like a month away by the time this comes out. But you know, I just love gaming, and I want to share that passion with people. And yeah, so I appreciate everyone. This not the end of the video yet. I'm gonna finish off after I get this next boss fight done after the end of this level. Oh, dude, he started running on air, man. He was put on air. Alright, what's down here? Nothing. Nothing's down there. You want to go down there? Cool. You did it on your own decision, buddy. There's nothing down there. Wow, so much fun, right? But yeah, like I said, dude, I can't recommend enough playing some Pac Man World 2. Or if you have access, play Pac Man World 3. Play the first Pac Man World. One thing I'm disappointed I didn't bring up more. Ooh, sorry. It's one of those deep emotional yawns. Whenever I get on a long tangent or rant, I just kind of take a breath out at the end, and I get a little sigh, a little yawn. But one thing I meant to talk about more was the fact that there are, like, we got a remake for the first Pac-Man game in the form of Pac Man World Repack. It's very simple, you know, very basic design, but it was fun and entertaining for a short amount of time. Not like the game's not, you know, entertaining. I meant like the game itself is just kind of short. But dude, what I would love, I'm not gonna give my left or my right arm. I'm not gonna give up any limbs for the game. I think giving up limbs for any game is, unless you're already, for medical reasons, already having to get rid of the limbs, then sure, you could just, you know, throw it in as an added bonus. But no, I'm not going to donate a limb for the sake of Pac Man World 2. Sorry, Pac Man World 2 fans. I'm not doing that for you. But I would do a lot of other things. You know, all legal things and things that would not get me in any trouble, nor things that I would regret. Outside of maybe eating like hot spicy wings. I would eat hot spicy wings. I hate hot stuff, but I would eat hot spicy wings if it meant I got a Pac Man World 2 remake. Either a remake or just like bringing it to a modern console with like a little, you know, different, like more updated graphics. Like, man, it wouldn't take much. I'll settle for just about anything, man. Oh gosh, it spit me out over there. What the heck, man? Dude, I'm not doing well. I don't know why. This is normally not that difficult. Alright, come on. There we go. There we go. Come on now. Get him again. Ta-da. Oh. Bro, what? Can you normally... Is this a glitch? This could also be that I'm playing on an emulator, so it maybe not is not always behaving properly, but I didn't know you could turn around. That's funny. As you can probably tell, I probably should hop off because I'm yawning myself. So maybe I don't want to bore you guys. But anyways, thank you guys so much. Like, I'm glad we could have this talk, and it was long, it was emotional, a rant. Again, I get it, but hopefully it stuck out to some people, and you know, they related and connected. If even one or two people watches this, if you did make it this far into the video, why don't you comment the word avalanche, because I hate the avalanche level in this game. And because it can relate, because sometimes avalanche can feel like an avalanche is coming down in your life, like it can snowball out of effect, and you don't want that to happen. So play good games like Pac Man World 2, and maybe we'll get a remake. Who knows? Regardless, like I said, comment avalanche, and I will personally reply to your comment. I mean, I'll reply regardless because I like responding to comments. But if you comment avalanche, I will tell you, I will answer any of your questions. How about that? And I will even in the next rant video, if you would like, if you want, I can highlight and feature a comment. Thank you guys. Bye bye.